In the long run, we keep the licensees honest. We let them know that we're looking, and they better find ways to keep the plant safe, or we're going to be telling them, and of course their managers don't want to get embarrassed. So it's to their advantage to try to find their own problems. We did what we call a supplemental inspection, an additional team inspection. So it's a more focused look on just the diesels. And when we did that, we felt that they appropriately had identified the corrective actions needed and taken measures to make the diesels more reliable. In fact, here at Callaway, they did something that they weren't required to do, but they actually built an additional diesel to give them more redundancy for emergency power. That didn't really factor into the corrective action for the actual problem, but it did provide a measure of confidence on our part that even if they had a similar problem again, there's still two other diesels that would not likely fail at the same time. They could provide the overall function of providing emergency AC power. They did a good job. They did what they're supposed to do. We had several inspectors that looked at their corrective actions. We walked down the diesels, make sure they would work. We observed their test. By the time we had done the inspection, they had tested those diesels monthly, probably 8 times since then already. They proved that the diesels were once again reliable. If the licensee ends up in column 1, the licensee response column, they did a great job. They proved to us that the plant's safe. It's too much time and too complicated to say, a non-column, similar column 1 years, they did a good job. We really, it's too hard to compare.
Because different issues come up in different years.
Every year, there's different. We probably look at, thousands and thousands of operations, thousands of examples of maintenance, to try to say one little, finding here or there, they did a good or bad year. In the end, if they kept all their findings at green, they did a good job. And they're safe. More importantly, they're safe.
Can you explain to me if it's a challenge for you or how it works for you to be working alongside these people every day, but also inspecting them?
Well, that's easy. I believe safety is important, and I believe that compliance with the regulatory requirements is a large part of that safety. And I have to answer to anybody that lives in the area. Do I think the plant is safe? I think staying objective and finding potential problems is not the concept and the drive and the motivation to do it's easy. The fact that they have 600 or 700 people and they're trying to make sure I don't find anything wrong, that's the challenging part. And we still find things. We do a good job.
Do you find that when you mention the team inspection, that means people from outside the plant come in to
Right, our
assist?
region is based out of Arlington, Texas.
Do you find that fresh eyes sometimes capture things that in the day-to-day routine may not?
I would say we all learn from each other. They come to my plant and they look at some of the things that my resident and myself have found, and they learn. And sometimes they'll come in with a more narrow focus on something, and we'll learn something. It doesn't surprise me that 1 or 2 people can't find everything. The NRC also hires contractors, PhDs, in different engineering disciplines that come in on some of these inspections. And that's not to slight myself or my resident. We're highly qualified also. But different backgrounds, different experience. We have a good, broad, diverse knowledge base that's why our process works.